This anime figure over here is what I call an ideal waifu, because a proper waifu would achieve eye contact with you when you stare at her. You see how her eyes actually move when I rotate the camera around her? Right, on my desk over here are two 1x6 scale figures which can be described by these two words. Truly groundbreaking. Yeah, and I am not mincing my words over here. Like, these two figures, they are a big warning for Japanese figure brands not to overcharge, not to overprice their figures, right? Okay, so this figure on my right over here, this is the JK Bunny Girl, which came out earlier than this figure I will review today. There will be separate reviews, one figure per review, right? So this is for another day. Her review is coming very soon, within a few days. And yeah, YouTube does not like this one. They won't like this one, but don't worry, I have no intentions of censoring this JK Bunny Girl review at all. Like, no. So right in front of me, this one over here is a lot safer as a figure in comparison. This is Animester's 1x6 scale Disciplinary Committee Member. A figure with no name. She doesn't have a name, just Disciplinary Committee Member. So she is that background anime character which serves no purpose other than to appear and annoy the main character, something like that. And this is apparently an original artwork by Hapitopi. This is a very new figure, and if you pre-ordered this from a Japanese website or from any international shipping website, this figure is not yet available. You won't be able to buy it because this figure will only be released in May. Yeah, this figure supposedly came out in China back in late January. Yeah, late January, but I haven't seen her in stock until in the recent 1 month or so. So 8,000 yen for a 1x6 scale figure, which is actually tall, really huge. It is an insane value proposition, right? A lot of you were already saying, at this price, I must have it. But yeah, in China, it is even cheaper. 249 Chinese yuan, that was the amount I paid for this figure, excluding shipping, of course. And 249 Chinese yuan is only 5,300 yen at the time of recording. So if you bought this figure from China, you got the China exclusive batch. This is only 1,000 yen more expensive than the tiny pop-up red figures which have terrible quality control coming from Good Smile Company. This is just so mind-blowing. So basically, this is all down to regional pricing models, which is very common. Yeah, once again, if you subscribe to Adobe Photoshop Online or you subscribe to YouTube Premium, you subscribe to Amazon, what do you call that again? The Amazon Prime. Yes, Amazon Prime. If you are subscribing from the United States, from the UK, you compare it to those in the EU, in Europe, you compare to us in Asia, the amounts you are paying monthly is different, right? So basically what these companies are doing is they are adjusting the prices according to maybe the GDP, the gross domestic product, and the average income of people in these regions. For example, if that product is supposed to be sold at $25 monthly as a subscription plan, you'll charge $25 a month to someone living in Asia where they make very little money, their income is very low, they will feel the product is too expensive, and in the end, you won't sell any of the products because they feel that it is not worth it, right? However, if you sell it to them for maybe $5 a month, they would be more willing to subscribe to your service, but you would be losing money, you're losing revenue. How do you make up for it? Yeah, instead of $25, you're charging the Americans $40 a month. Yeah, something like that, because Americans are rich. This is actually a thing, right? It happens all over the place, and Chinese figure brands, they really love to give their own domestic market, their own people, a very discounted pricing, and they make up for that lost revenue by charging it higher to international customers. This is not unique to Animester. HobbyMax does the same thing, and even third-party resin figure brands, they also do the same exact thing. Yeah. There is nothing you can do about it unless you know how to communicate and speak in Chinese. Then you go to Chinese website and buy it yourself and arrange for the shipping. Or you get a friend who can communicate in Chinese to help you acquire these figures, right? Yeah. So, do I have a pop-up parade behind me? I don't think so. Okay, I don't have a pop-up parade with me. I think it is at home. I have a Megumin figure at home. And that Megumin figure is about 17 or 18 cm, which is like this. Yeah. Or let me bring in an Inori figure as comparison. This is not far off pop-up parade size. This was 7,000 yen back 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, this was already 7,000 yen. Now, a decade later, this is 8,000 yen or as low as 5,300 yen in China. Mind blown. Mind blown, right? More comparisons. I have a 1/7 scale Sculpt figure over here by Plum. For comparison, yeah, as you can see, this is still a lot bigger. This is real 1/6 scale. Okay. With the unboxing process of this figure, right, I was so surprised by a few things. Box quality over here is not that much different from a 20,000 yen, 30,000 yen Japanese figure box in terms of how solid it is, right? This is not easy to dent, seriously. The best part is this 5,300 yen scale figure comes with 3 faceplates and metal rods for the foot pegs. I did not even know how to react. Like, when I was taking the figure out from the box, I was speechless. Also, in addition to get a name tag for some reason, which I'm wearing right here, like, why are you including this thing? Like, I don't see the point, but I suppose that I shouldn't be complaining on getting free stuff. So, in my appreciation of Animester, I'm wearing it for today's review. Anyways, unboxing was straightforward. Assembly was simple, like the way you swap the face parts is exactly the same as most other scale figures or even Nendoroids. The glasses she is wearing is a bit tricky to put on. Not difficult, but a bit tricky. They fall off very easily, but once you snap on the front hairpiece, yeah, they are there in place, very secure. The fitting between the figure and the foot peg and the base was just right, like just the right amount of tightness. Neither too loose nor too tight. Like, it is so easy to unplug the figure from the base. Now, moving on to the sculpting of this figure over here, I am not showing you guys the back view of this figure because she is so embarrassed about her current outfit for a very good reason. Like, she is wearing fabric stocking, real fabric stocking over here, but underneath that stocking, yeah, there is nothing underneath, like haite nai as they call it in Japanese. She's not wearing any underwear, right? Which it explains her pose over here. As for the sculpting of this figure, the figure turns out to be exactly like what was promised in the official product photos. The face sculpt is spot on. If I had to choose my favorite, it would be this one over here where you see both of her eyes are of different sizes. Like, she is, how do I describe it in words? I'm not too sure. Like, this faceplate is what I would be displaying with this figure. Yeah, when I display her on my shelf, right? Moving on to the second faceplate, this was the default faceplate actually, which I am not using to display this figure with. The only difference I can tell between this one and the other one, which is my favorite, is the decal on the eyebrow and the eyes. Yeah, they are different. So the face expression is ever so slightly different, yet very noticeable. Meanwhile, everything else like the sculpt, the mouth and the nose and everything, they are exactly the same. So it actually cost Animester like $1 or $2 just to give you an extra faceplate because they don't have to make a new mold. All that is different is the eyes. They just put a different decal on it. Third faceplate, right? The third one over here, the eye has this very special effect. It is an optical illusion actually. There is this clear plastic in front and the iris of the eye is behind this clear plastic. So when you look at this figure, regardless of from which angle, it feels like the figure is looking back at you. There is eye contact between you and the figure, no matter which side you're looking at the figure from. Is this gimmicky? Well, I think this is something very subjective. On that JK Bunny figure earlier, which I mentioned, briefly in the opening of this video, that figure has the same feature as well. But I liked this feature on that JK Bunny figure a lot more. But for this figure, unfortunately, I don't think this moving eye faceplate is my favorite. I still prefer that blushing face with the decal eyes on. Just a personal preference, by the way. But I really love how Animester is giving us choices on how to display this figure. Kotobukiya demands you to go to their online website to buy the exclusive version of a normal figure for an additional 3,000, 5,000 yen just to get one extra faceplate. Yeah, 3 to 5,000 yen for one of these things. Meanwhile, a Chinese figure brand is giving you 3 of these at no extra charge. Normally, I would expect a cheaper, low-budget scale figure like this to have corners being cut in the materials department, like instead of using 50% PVC and 50% ABS, ABS is expensive by the way, they use maybe over 90% PVC or no ABS at all, right? But surprise, they did not cut as much corners as I thought. They used silicone in this figure. Her opie is squeezable, as you can see over here. Now this is something I totally did not expect. However, at the same time, for me, this kind of feature in an anime figure is not very important to me, not essential. I wouldn't even care if her chest is rock solid plastic, right? But apparently some people want this feature, so it is nice that you're getting it over here. And one more problem with silicone, well, hypothetically speaking, is that the color of the material might mismatch with the paintwork on the rest of the figure. And in this case, the skin color is consistent throughout the entire figure, regardless of the difference in material. Now, this is truly impressive indeed, right? If there is a flaw on this figure, it is on the left side of her head, the only one single flaw. Yeah, you'll see a notch over there which I circled. That defect is something not present in every copy of this figure. I would say maybe it is there for one single batch of the figure. These figures are not that different from Gunpla. They are injection molded. And then there are all these extra extensions of plastic on the side which they need to remove it, cut it off and sand it or fill it up if there is any defect, right? And this is most likely a result of them overlooking it, like they failed to notice it. Yes, this is a quality control related issue, but perhaps I'm being a bit more lenient because this is as cheap as a pop-up parade Hololive figure, for example, right? Now, moving on to the paintwork, right? I virtually could not find any flaws at all in the paintwork. Now, this is the impressive part as well. Surely, this is not a very detailed figure. Make no mistake, because there are no fine details on the outfit, like, you know, on some characters there are these very thin gold colored trims or very fancy decals. None of that over here. This is just somewhat JK outfit, school uniform with undergarment and black fabric stockings, real fabric over here. So the detail department of this figure is not very high. So there really is no reason to screw up the painting. Are there any shading on the paintwork of this figure since this is so cheap, right? Yes, but very minimal. If you turn around the figure and look at the back, you'll see some reddish brown accent on the very edges of her hair strands. Not a lot of shading, but better than none at all. On the front of the figure, yeah, once again, at the very edges of the hair strands, you'll see some mild amount of shading, which is more than good enough for a figure like this, right? And lastly, regarding the stability and the base of this figure. Now, this is a very cheap figure. Even if they gave me a plain black plastic disc, a plain white plastic disc, I would have no complaints at all. And even if it was plastic foot peg, I would not complain at all. But once again, surprise, we are getting a pair of really thick metal rods for the foot peg. Meanwhile, I'm going to call out Kotobukiya again. They would permanently glue their figures to the base just to hide the fact that they saved 20 cents by not giving you any metal foot pegs in their figures. Yeah, they are 15,000, 20,000 yen figures. They did not put any single metal in the foot. Here we get a pair of very thick metal foot pegs, and as a result, the figure is very sturdy, very stable. If I were to shake the figure barely even wobbles. I'm telling you guys right now to go and buy one. Right? If you did not pre-order one, I don't think you have to worry too much. Like, you wait until after release, you stalk all these Japanese websites. You go to China right now, for example, go to Taobao, go to Bilibili shop, for example. They are in stock. You can buy one right now. Yeah, Japanese figure companies should truly be afraid. Yeah. So please buy this figure if you are interested in the character design. And if you found this video, this review to be helpful, please give this video a like, a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. And until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.